Good morning, students. So this is the um second lecture on the SharePoint. So we will talk more details how we can build the sites, how we can do other things, permissions, users, pages, these kind of a thing where we're looking at. So first thing is that this is the two sites that we have developed in the last lecture. If we look at that, we have a SharePoint 2019, then sites and test one, and sites and test two. Test one is the new template for the team site, and the test two is the classical template for the team site. And if you remember that we have seen that when we want to set the URL, the address in that, like as SharePoint test 2019 sites/test, that URL we need to select something from here like sites or the my personal or maybe at the root. So we can select only these of the, but the point is if we want to add some specific, like instead of sites I say that I want to have I212, that is our course code. So how we can add these wildcard inside our SharePoint system. So we can add our root level wildcards to configure the URL for our sites. For example, we want to create a URL like this. So how we can do that? We need to go into the central administration. How we can go there? I will show you in the practical demonstration in the other video, but if you remember it, then you know how to do that. So go to the central administration of the SharePoint, and then you click on the application management. When you click on the application management, then it will open up another tab on the right side, and then here you say manage web application. When you click on the manage web application, it will show you something like this, and then you select the SharePoint 80. That is, you can say that the web server for the SharePoint. Click on that, and after clicking on that, you will click on the managed paths. So we are trying to manage the path, the URL. So once we click on that, it will open up this particular specific window, and in this window you can put whatever you want here. Here I say that I212, maybe you can say that Abbas Malik, or you can put my website or whatever you want to put over here. You can put it here, and then you need to say add path, wildcard inclusion. So add path and then click OK, and then when you go and try to find out the URL, you will see that I212 is also there. So you can select this one, and then we can select something like this, like SharePoint 2019 /I212 /test1 /sales team site, or the ICT team site, or the business team site, and so on. So you can customize your URL according to your requirement. So this is the wildcard. This is how you can handle your customized URLs. Now we talk about the library applications. We have document library, and last time we will also have the picture library, which contains images and pictures. We also have the asset library, which is also contains the videos and audios, or maybe files and so on. So we have three types of libraries: document, picture, and assets. So storage, where we are going to store all those files. We have files, we have pictures, we have audios, we have videos. Where we are going to store, we have two different possible solutions. One is the local storage, my documents, or maybe an external drive, or maybe a network shared drive. Local storage within the local network, or in the local computer, like my document, or maybe some external drive that you have connected with your server, or maybe a network shared storage, but in the local network. Or we can save all those information inside our cloud. That can be a team library, which you have hosted somewhere in the cloud. It could be a Microsoft cloud, or the Google cloud, or maybe a Amazon Web Services, whatever it is, OneDrive for business or OneDrive personal. So you can configure your OneDrive to store all those information. That is also possible. So this is our classical view of our team site. Okay, in the classical view, if we click on the document, or you can also click on here on the document, here on the quick launch bar on the left navigation bar. Either you click here, or you click here, you will come to this particular specific. Or in the new what you can say that in the new template, in the latest template, or the template which is for the default template for the team site within the SharePoint 2019, it is like this. So you have the document on the left. In the new template, you click on this particular, on the left navigation or the quick launch, you click on the documents. When you click on the document, you will see a list of documents. I have already uploaded, because if you coming for the first time, there will be no documents here in that particular specific area. But if you say that I want to upload, if you click on the upload, and then you can upload a few documents over there, you will see those documents. I have added some few Word documents and the image documents here. So you can see these are the different columns which are present, which are providing you different type of information about that particular specific file which is present in the document library. The first part is the type. It show you in terms of their icons. It's a Word document, it's an image file, this is a Word document, and then it will also provide you the name of that particular specific file. Okay, and then we have like when it is modified 80 minutes ago or 70 minutes ago, or modified by the system account. Or we can also add some more information. If you want that I want to show some more information, I want to add more columns, either you click on this particular add more columns, or you can click on that all documents and edit the current view. So click on the all documents, edit current view. When you go over there, it will show you the list of different type of columns or informations about those files, like app created by, app modified by, checked out, copy course, created by, or the file size, what is the size of that particular specific file in the MB or the kilobytes or something, and so on. So we can add whatever we want here, and when we can also put them into the order. So if you look at that, the type of the file is the first column here. The second column is the name, third column is the modified by is the fourth column, and then we can change that particular specific order as well if we want. You can click on that and you can select whichever specific order in which you want to show those information about that file. So once you are selecting all those information, and then you go again on the top of that particular specific page where you are looking at those column information, and you click OK. When you click OK, you will come up with that, and then you will see that it has already added these two columns: created 26 minutes ago, I mean when it was created, and who has created that particular specific document. Okay, so these are the things that how we can change the view. We also have some other, if we click on these names, we can sort them. We can sort the that particular specific view according to the descending like file name ascending order, alphabetically or descending order. We can also sort based on the modified time. We can also sort based on the modified by who has done. I mean here it's showing all the system account, but if you have different users, then maybe Abbas Malik has modified this particular specific document. Mike has added this document, so we can also sort them according to the user who has modified. We can also sort them according to the what you can say that the type, or we can also apply some filters. And what does that filter means? If you click on that particular specific button, it will open up that particular specific left side window or small pan, and here you can select. If you click on that particular specific JPJ, you will see something like this. It means that we are filtering the files based on its type. We can also filter based on the specific date. We can also based on the specific time. We don't want to see the files which are older than 2019. So all the images, all the files which are created before or the uploaded before 2019, they will be not be displayed in that particular specific. So in this way we can filter the contents of that particular specific document library. This is the other thing. One more thing, for example, this is a Word document, this is an Excel document, this is an image document. So we can edit them. We can edit and save these documents within the SharePoint, but the point is we need to configure our we need to configure our Office applications or the Office 365. We need to configure it with our SharePoint so that when we open our files, it will automatically open those files according to whatever we have configured. Either we have configured our local Office applications with the SharePoint, it will open that, and then automatically it will save those information. When we save the information in the Word, it will automatically save those information inside our document library on the SharePoint. And similarly, if we have configured our Office 365, I will show you that how we can do that in the practical session. But the point is, because I'm not the administrator at the UCOL, so it does not allow me to do that. But yes, it is possible that we can do that. So provided that we have the administrative rights. So I hope maybe I will ask the UCOL to give me some administrative rights so that we can configure it and see how it works. But let's see. But I will show you that how we can do that, how we can configure it with the Office 365. All of you have the Office 365 from the UCOL account. You can access those applications and so on. So we can configure these Office applications with our SharePoint so that whenever we edit some different files, it automatically save into our document library. In the classical version, in the classic or the old 2016 version of the template of the team site, it automatically add news feed. And what does a news feed is? It's a small information that, like, just like a tweeter, you can tweet some information with limited number of limited information, or maybe it is a Facebook post where you can share some ideas, some whatever currently in your mind, you share your thoughts with your friends and so on. So yes, you can do the same thing in the SharePoint. That is a news feed. And students, this is the news feed in the classical view. So we can just click on that, that we can share with our colleagues and co-workers, collaborators which are working together. News feed, we can also add a picture with it. Let me add some picture, upload it, so you can see that we can just post it, so you can see that particular post is coming up. So this is the feed, news feed, which is present in the classical site view, and how we can add more posts, and we can always sharing, just like we are sharing some posts on the Facebook or the Twitter, so we are sharing the things, information with our colleagues within our the on the other hand, in the latest template, in the new template in 2019 for the team site, it as actually adds, it does not give you the news feed, but it will give you the news. So we can add the news. How we can do that? Either we are students. So this is the new view of the team site in the 2019 SharePoint. So if here we don't have the news feed, rather we have the news. So either we can add, click on this particular specific button, specific link, or you can add a new. So whether you are on both of them, if we click, we can add a new one. Here we can say that we have a new page. Here we can say that new news, and then look at that. We can add something. We can add an image, for example. Let me see if I can. And we have those images, so we can select that one. We can click, we can open. So this particular specific image is coming up. Can we resize it? Okay. We have that one. It's a big one, but we can add the other things. For example, this is a new artwork from Bas Malik, whatever. So I mean, we can add. So we can also add a file viewer. We can add a list. We can embed some things. We can have a lot of. So here we have a more like we are sharing a specific post rather than a simple Twitter, which is containing a very list information that is we have seen in the previous, the classical version, that is the news feed. Here we are more like we can share a complete article about something that we are working on, and then we can add different we can stream some things, we can quickly add some charts, we can add some people, we can add some links. So I mean all these things we can add over here. So that is the another way. So once you can see save and close, we save, send by email, or you can publish it. When you publish it, you can see that our news is coming up in that particular home page at the top. So this is another way to share the information which are more elaborate in the new version. So you can share a complete article about something, about your research, about your work, about your progress. So you can add a lot of things over there. So this is a new way to share the information among your colleagues in the SharePoint 2019. Thank you. Okay, so now we talk about the site content. This is how we can go to the site content within our old template, old team site template. Whether we click on the setting gear and select the site content, or we can select the site content from the left panel or the left navigation bar. It will look like this, and then we can add, we can see that we have site pages, and then it will show you the pages of the site, and then we can add a new one, and then it will be like new page, and then you can create that particular specific page, and then you can edit it. It will open up in an edit mode, and then you can add those information and so on, just like your Word document that you can add over here. This is the old template. If and then if you want to, like, the page has been added, that description page we have edited, and then if we want to add that particular specific page in our left navigation bar, then we need that particular specific URL. Okay, so we copy that particular specific URL. Once we have copied that particular specific URL, then we can add. I will show you how we can add in the left panel, but in the now I will show you in the new site template, in the new template for the team site, how we can add the pages. So what we need to do, we need to go to the site content. Again, same, whether we clear on this setting gear and then select the site content, or you can set the site contents from the left navigation bar. So if we go there, we have the site pages. So we click on the site pages. When we go there, we can add a new one. So when we click on that, we say that we want to add a new site page. So we add all that, and then it will be just like that. We have added that news. It is show you the same kind of infrastructure where you can add that particular specific page. So what is the name of your page, what you want to add. You want to add the images, you want to add the text, you want to add the embedding, you want to add the people, you want to add links, and so on. So you can add all those. This is the same thing that is for just like for news. Okay, so once you have created that particular specific um, saved that particular space, created, I mean designed that particular page and saved it and published it, then you will again you need to copy that particular link. So once we click on that, copy the link, if you bring your cursor over this one, it will show you that three dots. You click on that three dots and they say copy on the link. So when you copy on the link, so you can say that it will open up that this is the complete address of that particular specific page. You can copy this particular specific link, and once you have done, or you have the link in the old version or in the old template or the new template. I mean, it's a little bit confusing what is an old template, and the things are going in parallel. So I hope you can understand both of the things. So again, we can click on the edit links. When you edit links, you say, I want to add plus link. It will, what text you want to display here, like documents or the site contents or this one. So you need to add those, like in this case I say description, and then I also put that particular specific I paste that particular specific link that we have copied in the previous slides. So then once we have done, we click on the OK button, and then when we click OK, and then we at the end, it will automatically show you that you can save that particular specific changes. Once you save those changes, it will show you that particular specific link of the page in the left navigation bar. Similarly, in the new version, if we want in the new version, okay, yeah, I mean, if you click on the description page, it will show you that particular specific description page in the older version. In the new version, again, the same thing, we click on the edit. So once we click on the edit, it will show you that something like this. And once you in the beginning it will not show you this particular blue line and the plus button. Once you come bring your cursor here, it will show you that particular specific. We click on that plus button, then when you click on the plus button it will show you that, okay, give me the address of that particular specific. I mean, we have already copied that particular specific link for the page, that new page that we have created, or demo page. And then here you say the demo page, that is the name that will be displayed here in that particular specific link, where on which you can click and you can go to that particular specific page. So once you have given those information, you click OK, and then you can see that we have this particular demo page. When click on the demo page, we click on the demo, I mean, if we click on the demo page, it will take you to the demo page. That I'll show you in the practical session, that will be more appropriate. I mean, you know that. Now again, we are in the site content, and inside the site content we have clicked the new button. When you click on the new button, we are saying that we want to add a new application. When we click on that, it will show you a page like that. Of course it is like this, and then it will follow by, on scroll down you will see these things. So now we are saying that we want to add a picture library. So when you click on the picture library, it will open up this one. I mean, here you can give the name of the picture library, and then you can create, or you can say that I want to look at the advanced option. When you click on the advanced option, it will open up like this. You can give the name, you can give some description. He's also say that picture version history. It means that every time you are trying to edit some picture library, it will create a new version of this one or not. So I mean, you can select that particular specific features. So these three things which are in advanced options, and then you can create. When you create it, it will create that particular specific library for you. I name it as a my picture, and it is an empty right now. Okay, so again we are in the site content. In the site content we can see our new my picture library that we have just created. So it's a picture library, this name is my pictures. And then if you bring your cursor on that particular my picture library, it will show you that particular specific three dots button. And then when you click on the settings, so it will take you to this particular specific page. It's a my picture, that's the library name that I have created. And then it's a setting. So we have a general settings, we have a permission and management settings, and there are some other informations about that particular specific picture library. So first let's see the advanced settings. So when we click on the advanced settings, you see these information. So we have different what different content types, custom send destination, different make new folder command available, yes or no. I mean, people can make new folders within that particular specific picture library, yes or no. We can apply the search, we can search some information, do you want to index the views, and so on. So I mean, these are the different type of settings, how it will look like, how it will behave, that particular specific picture library. And then according to our need, we can select those advanced settings for us. And then after all the changes that we have made here, we can click on the OK, and those settings will be applied on our picture library. The other thing is that is a nameless description and navigation. I mean, if right now we click on that, I say that, I mean, by default it is not going to display in the quick launch or the left navigation bar. But definitely if we want to add in an application, we have a way to access that particular specific picture library. We can go into the site content and select that particular library, and it will open up for us. But if you want that the users can access that particular specific picture library from the home page, from the main menus, then we can add that particular link in the left navigation bar. So you can select that particular, of course I want to select yes. When I say yes and then save it will show me that particular specific site on the left navigation. In the older version, in the older, what you can say that in the old team site 2016 template, again here it is a different way, but again more or less the same thing. Add an application, select the picture library, and then once you are selected, you can give the name or you can select the advanced option. The rest is same, only this particular specific part in the beginning that is a different, because there it is showing you the site content in a different way, but in the new template it is showing you the site content in a different view. It's the same thing but different view. So you can add the picture library in the older version. Okay, and then we can uh, look at, when we open that particular specific picture library, we can go to the library settings. These are the same settings that's come down the list of the names of the navigations or the advanced settings. Okay, and then you can go and then you can select that you want to show that particular picture library in the left navigation bar, yes or no, and then based on that you can select those information and you can save. uh, Again, we want to add another application, that is a calendar. Okay, when we click on that calendar, similarly, I mean, the same thing that we have done for the picture library, we can do the same thing for the calendar. We can follow those rules and regulations. And now if we look at our main picture, we have our my pictures and the my calendar. So these two libraries or the applications has been, this is a picture library, this is a calendar, and when we click on that we can go into that particular library or the calendar. Okay, so this is our site one look like till now. We have a demo page, and then we also have added, I think it's not showing me my doc, that my picture library and so on, but yeah, this is what we have so far read, or you can say that this one, we have a demo page, we have my pictures and my calendar. This is our site so far. And now we are going to click on our setting here. In the setting here, I want to select the permission because we want to see the site permissions. So when we click on that, it will open that particular specific thing, and then we click on the advanced settings, it will open up that something like this. So this is the site level permissions. We can also have the application level permissions, who can see the picture library, who can see the calendar, and who cannot see the, we can access, we can go into that particular specific level. But right now we are looking at the site level permissions. And if we look at that particular specific view, we have one user, administrator, and we have only one user in our Windows 2019 server, and that is an administrator. And it, because that particular administrator has created that particular site and the form, so it has a full control over it. This is only one user that exists over there. And then we also have three different user groups, members. We have a members, we have owners, and we have the visitors. Owners, it means they own, they are the owner of that particular specific site collection. If they are the owners, they can have the full control, just like the administrative user, because administrative user is actually the owner of this one because it has created it. So full control they can do, even they can delete that particular specific site collection, everything gone, delete it. Okay, they have full control. We also have the members. For example, we have different colleagues, different people who are working in that organization. We can put them as a member. They can edit the information, they can have limited access to those information, and then they continue, they do the work, the actual work inside the organization. Okay, but they don't have the full control. They can add the information, they can add new information and so on, but they cannot delete, provided that whatever those rights are. And then we also have the visitors. Visitors mean that they can only read the information, but not just like our web pages. Only the people can come and visit and read the information, but they cannot add, change those informations on their own, unless and until we have provided them some feedback forms and so on. They can add more information about that, like blog and so on, but otherwise they can only see the read the information. So we have three different groups and user groups, and then one user only. That is the site level permission. Similarly, if we want to look at the permissions for the application level, we have my calendar. So we open our calendar, we click on that my calendar link, we open the calendar, and then we click on that particular calendar menu option. When you click on that one, it will open that particular menu bar, and then we have a list settings. When you go on the list setting, these are the same settings that we have seen before, like for the name description, for the advanced settings, but we also have the permission. So if we permission for this particular specific light, permissions for this list or this application, this calendar, so only permissions for this. Again, we have three different one user and three different groups. Now, one is the administrator, we have the members, owners, and the visitors. The same thing. The reason is that when we are when we are adding the applications in our SharePoint site, it automatically inherit the site permissions in the application. So because it has inherited, so we don't need to, there are limited access users on this site. Users may have limited access if an item or document under the site has been shared with them. Okay, so we have some information about same information, same users and the three groups. So now the point is we have only, I mean, if we click on the test owners, that's a group, and then we can see only the administrator is there. The reason is that it's the only user we have. Now how we can add the user? How we can show that for some users are visitor, they don't have the editing right. Some users are the members, which has the editing right, and some users are the owner, which have the full control of that. How we can mimic, how we can show those things. So for that, we need to add users. What do we mean by adding users? Adding users mean, because we are talking about a Windows server 2019 on which we have installed the SharePoint. That's a server system, so we can have multiple users. Just like we have in the Windows 10, we can have multiple users, then the multiple users can log in. But here it's more like, just like every student in the UCOL has a username and account, and then he can go into any computer and log in. And that is actually in this server of the UCOLs, they have created the users for each student, and then server authenticate whenever the user is going to log in into any computer on in the UCOL. It that request go to the server, and server authenticate using the username and password, that this particular person has given the right username and password, and then it authenticate that particular specific user and allow it to log in and use those computer within the UCOL. So similarly, we can add the users here as well, but for that particular purpose we need to get out of our um, SharePoint. We need to go into our Windows 2019 server, and then there we are going to add some users. How we can do that? So first of all, you click on that particular start button, and then you have say server. I type server, so we need to open that particular specific server manager. We click on the server manager. When we click on that particular specific server manager, it will open up something like this. So if we look at that, we have domain name systems, we have active directory services, we have file storages, IIS, that is the internet, and that is the web server for the Windows. So we have all those services configured properly. They are also green. Okay, so now we click on that particular specific tools, and from the tools it will open up a drop down menu, and here we have the users, active directory users and the computers. The same way we can add a user, we can also add more computers inside it. But right now we are more interested in, when we click on that active directory users and the computers, it will open up some line. For example, here you can see that computers, but we are more interested in the users. And if you look at that, if you click on the user, it will show you that administrator user is already there, and then we also have some other guest user. We also have security groups which are present over there. But right now we want to add new users. How we can do that? We can right click on that particular user folder, and then we can say that I want to add a new. When we go to the new, I want to add a user, click on that particular specific user. When you click on the user, it will open up something like this. I fill those information like Abbas Malik. It automatically fill my name. Here I select the login detail, A Malik, and then click next. These things are automatically configured, so you will see that you will fill the first name and last name, and then you fill the login information, and then you click on the next. When you click on the next, it will show you that some information about the software password. So here I select the same password, SharePoint 2019, the same as the administrator, and say that password will never expires. Password will never expires will help you that of course this is not the ideal situation, but for the practical for what you can say that for our ease and of remembering the things, I say that don't expire, password never expire, and I selected the same password for the administrator, and then click on the next. So you can change the things, you can do see those different type of user must change the password on the next login. I mean, you select an initial like default one, and that's a password, and then whenever the user is going to log in, it is going to change that particular specific password on its own. You can select all those things, whatever you want. and then click on next. It will show you the summary, and then you click on the finish. When you click on the finish, you can see that particular specific Abbas Malik user has been added. Again, if you want to add more users, you can follow the same process, and you can add as much user as you want: 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever, no problem. Okay, so you can add that thing. um, Now we are back in the site permissions, site test one permissions. If we come here, we have a member, we have visitors, we have owners. In the owners, we have already administrator. So I want to add Abbas Malik as a member of this particular specific site, so that that particular member has the access to those, what you can say, that can edit the information and see on. Okay, so when we want to add that particular specific Abbas Malik user inside the members group, test one members group. So we click on new, I want to add user, click on that one, and I say A Malik. A Malik is the username. So when I click on that, it will show me the option Abbas Malik, show me that particular specific one result. So when we click on that particular specific one result, it will show me something like that. This particular specific, you want to add it, say yes, I want to share it. We'll click on the share, and then you can see that particular specific person inside this particular specific group. I will show you in the practical session. Okay, so that is the end of our lecture today, how we can add the users with different permissions, how we can add pages, how we can add the applications within our site. Thank you.